to the Aphelios, you know, with Senna being banned away as well, there's the Sett and the Lucian that you were hoping to see. And you've already mentioned that Sett is that flex pick. So we can, you know, we can see where that's going to go. But yeah, you know, Caps, Aphelios, and first pick, what do you think?
Honestly, I'm worried because it gives me flashbacks to Caps kind of running it down against Misfits. That was the champion, Aphelios. I think ever since then we haven't seen it back again, so I'm hoping that G2 practices a lot. At least Thresh is not banned because it's been replaced by the Syndra ban, so he does have that added net of safety, but it's very different to play like Ezreal. He doesn't have many ways of defending himself.
So then the next question is, what duo lane does Carzzy and Kaiser run? It was Misfits using the Xayah Rakan combination to punish Caps and Mickey. I think Caps went 0-8 that game, if I recall correctly. I mean, it was his cousin Craps playing, of course, but it still counts. And if this Sett ends up going top lane, Aatrox into Sett, that can be a very fun matchup. I'm excited to see Orome, hopeful to see Orome on something that's not a tank. You know, we talked in the last game how Orome's kind of been the weak side player for Mad Lions, so I want to see what happens. And of course, if that goes mid lane, then what will PerkZ run into it? The solo lane stories are very interesting. In game one, I so badly wanted to get your take, Yamato, on the PerkZ versus Humanoid, the assassin versus assassin, the mini game story that PerkZ was talking about.
Honestly, it's been very, very dull. No salt, no spice. It's just been PerkZ picking standard champions into, of course, yes, standard champions too, but into tanks. It's not like this massive expression of individual skill, not an explosive 2v2 mid lane. It's been very one-sided on who gets to have the pressure. Last time we saw PerkZ on the Rumble, just gets to push freely against the Ornn with the Javan jungle. This time around, maybe Mad Lions go for another tank because it seems like this is what Mad Lions have prepared coming into the series.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way. And Jankos is going to have his jungle pool pinched. Rek'Sai gone, Gragas gone. Lucian is picked away. I mean, he's played the Karthus. I don't think that's what they're going to want to play. We'll see what direction he goes. The Yuumi denied for Kaiser, so Ezreal won't get that combination. And of course, a little bit of an insight. G2 not expecting that Sett to go top lane with the Gangplank ban. And we get ourselves another crazy flex here. Neeko locked in. I was not expecting a Neeko 10-6. Did you think Neeko was going to show up?
Honestly, like I've been paying attention to like the Shy and Rookie's solo queue accounts, and they were both spamming a lot of Neeko. Neeko got some buffs in 10.5, I believe, and we haven't seen it show up yet. But into Aatrox is going to be fine early game, but then get kind of outscaled on side. I think the key thing is that Mad Lions are kind of lacking AP damage, so they're just picking the Neeko. It can go top. I don't think it's gonna go support. I think Sett is kind of locked in support already.
Got it. So what's going to happen mid lane now? We've got every champion locked in with the exception of PerkZ and Humanoids. Once we see what G2 finalize in their team composition, Sylas was banned away in game one from the Mad Lions. We know PerkZ loves this champion and it has been locked in, so we would expect that to be mid, expect the Aatrox to be top. Does Humanoid look for skill matchup? Does he take a Sett? I don't know if I believe the Kiana happening. What would you like to see him run?
That's dangerous because already we have something explosive. Lucian into Sylas is a very, very high skill matchup. The Elise is on G2's side. Mid lane is going to be very explosive because Lucian wants to play aggressive. If Sylas gets breathing room, gets to W freely, and gets to regen that HP, it is very difficult for him, for Lucian to keep up. He needs to play perma-aggro, harass under the turret. So finally we have a 2v2 matchup that we've been looking for. No tanks! Woo!
Ooh, yes, lots of action in the early game, I hope. And also, what'll be fun to watch is how Humanoid matches up into PerkZ, because, like I said, in the previous games, running those tanks in the mid lane, you kind of resign the laning phase to a degree. You're committing to mid game, you're committing to late game, to team fights, and this time round, with a Lucian and a Lucian, with the Elise and the Sylas, this is going to be spicy. Where do you expect, or who do you expect to strike first in the early game?
Honestly, I think Mad Lions have a lot of options because Lucian is going to have that prio mid lane. Unless Elise goes for a level 3 gank to impact that or something, I think just because of that notion alone, I think Mad Lions is going to have the upper hand early. If Jankos manage to find some ganks somewhere, then that could shift very, very fast. We need to pay attention to how these lanes scale because I think top side is going to be super, super good. We'll just have to see.
We will indeed. It's G2 versus Mad, Game 3. And welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else as we jump into Game 3. The series was evened out at 1-1 after Mad Lions had a convincing victory to open the series. G2 put on a little bit of a circus and a fiesta in Game 2, but it was entertaining and fun to watch. And this time around, G2, they're grouping up, they're going for an invade as well. So now we get to see the true mettle of Mad Lions. The analyst desk, Yamato, was talking about how G2 historically have been a little slow out the gates. They have lost first games in series, and they ramp up as a series plays out. But this is our first viewing of Mad Lions, and the first time we've seen them lose a game. So how do they bounce back, and what is their mentality like? That's what I'm looking forward to watching.
I love that they're going for something early game centric. They can't get away with playing something that kind of scales into mid to late game any longer because G2 tried to fire fast. This time around, in comparison to the last draft, there's actually a lot of options here for them to make plays. Ezreal and of course Sett, they can manage to maybe pick up kills on something that is an Aphelios, quite immobile. Mid lane, Lucian has opportunities to create priority and to pressure the Sylas. Top side, I believe that Neeko is going to win early and eventually Aatrox is going to scale into the lane. The key thing though for G2 is the fact that Jankos is playing Elise. He needs to find action in the early game somehow with some clever pathing, some clever ganks, because otherwise I think Mad Lions can actually gain an advantage. If Lucian manages to reach level 6, it kind of resets once again because Lucian level 6 is so much stronger than Elise. So a lot of things here are at play. All of these small details are going to matter when these fights start to break out, the 3v3s, the 2v2s, and across the board just jungle interaction.
I really like that because it's kind of like a pendulum. The ability to make plays in the early stages, you kind of favor the cocoon from Jankos when comboed with an Aatrox or Sylas. But then the moment Shadow gets access to that Dragon's Rage, things change up and you know, they have the ability to have you know, more playmaking available to them. The one thing I will say, based on what Jankos just did, which we'll get to in a moment, Caps is busy chucking out all of those chakrams. Carzzy flashes forward, the 2v2! They've done it! Oh my word, flashbacks to Misfits. This is flashbacks. Caps will sidestep the Mystic Shot. Jankos comes in. The Cocoon finds the target. The Venomous Bite sinks the fangs in. Repels up, comes down. And Kaiser will be able to escape with his life with the help of a turret. But in a 2v2, Mad Lions, they get themselves the first kill. Yamato, they're going to go for the dive.
For sure, they're just waiting for the creeps to die. No TPs on G2 side. There is no savior for Wunder except himself. Can he outplay this?
No, I don't think
he
can. Got no flash available. The Umbral Chains will pull one back onto Humanoid, but it is Orome that's tanking the turret. The shield manages to save Humanoid's life. Oh, there are so many minions there. Wunder will be able to get back in lane for a few of them as he's already teleporting. And Caps and Jankos are currently sort of zoning away Carzzy and Kaiser. So 3 kills in the first 3 minutes. If a death sentence connects, there could be a dive on the cards. Jankos can repel and get away from turret aggro. Mickey, though, he stayed way too long. Orome's flashed over the wall. He's trying to chase forward. If he can find the Tangle Bobs, maybe there'll be another. But Mad Lions just sneak another kill.
G2 a bit too greedy there. They were punishing well and Mad Lions began to walk up when Orome had the TP timer. Very nice play here from Mad Lions. They kind of stole that from the Fnatic book. They used their TP into the bottom side because the top wave was indeed in a very good position for them to do so. Mad Lions definitely showing a different kind of game here with the draft that allows them to do so.
I mean, this is crazy. 2-1-0 on Carzzy's Ezreal. Got a kill picked up for Humanoid's Lucian. Yes, Orome had to commit the TP, so he will lose a little bit of CS in that top lane. But he got an early gank from Shadow and some support from Humanoid on the dive. Mad Lions are 1,000 gold up. And this is exceptional. The laning phase, more importantly the roaming phase, has started very early on. And Mad Lions, they've got a good command of the first few minutes.
Humanoid is very happy that Elise has been forced to show on both sides so much because he got to play the matchup however he wants. If he gets to dash forward and attack the Sylas under the turret over and over, it gets really, really rough because Sylas has no items. He hasn't based yet. He's been under this turret the entire game.
Unbelievable. 10 CS advantage for Humanoid, even in the top lane. Carzzy's currently down 2. 10 correction, but it doesn't matter because he's got 2 kills. That's where I was trying to go with that. So, small gold advantages accrued on the Mad Lions side. And while Shadow hasn't hit 6 yet, his team has found a way to make an impact even without that ultimate. What do you make of the 2v2? Kaiser and Carzzy just straight up killing Caps and Mykix before Jankos arrives.
That is so wild. I just didn't expect it because Thresh is such a strong laner early on. I feel like Sett support is something that isn't like completely clarified in terms of how strong it is because it's so recent, but the fact that they managed to pick up a kill while G2 is pushing on bottom is insane. They found the engage on Thresh and Mykix was the one that slipped up this time, luckily not Caps, which keeps me hopeful for this Aphelios.
Yeah, it really does. And of course, the death sentence didn't find its target. Shadow level 5 now, as he will spot out the bottom lane from G2 moving. PerkZ is already the first one able to sidestep over to the lane. So, willing to move, still being pushed in heavily, still under, a CS deficit. But I think that's what you were expecting to see, YamatoCannon. Now that he's hit level 6, can maybe steal away a culling. Would you like to see some additional support, either from some roams or maybe Jankos moving in?
It's so tricky because I feel like when Lucian reaches level 6, I feel like Mad Lions still win the 2v2 in mid lane because of how far behind Sylas is. Lucian's gonna base on a Cutlass, and I don't know if they can actually recover without having a Thresh roaming in or an Aatrox roaming in. And with the 2v2 kill on bottom, it seems like Mad Lions have a good control over this game. I just need to see something more creative from G2. They need to catch someone off guard to begin the Sylas snowball because right now he's very far behind.
Alright, Cocoon is dodged away from. I think Shadow was able to just fly through the air on that one. Repel over to the blast code, and now all of a sudden, Orome was trying to make that Pop Blossom work. Wunder ends up pushing him back and, blowing the cooldown for no success. Infernal Drake is still sitting there in the pits, and as it stands, G2 are being pushed around. I am so impressed with what I'm seeing out of this Mad Lions squad. And I want to now continue to watch Orome and Humanoid. They're not playing tanks, which means there's a lot more pressure on them this game to, deliver. And of course, with Shadow showing up and picking up an easy kill onto Wunder, who frankly was overextended hunting for a kill. Shadow's on his signature pick, carries on Orome and Humanoid. They have kills, they have a gold lead, they have an advantage. This is fantastic for our 4th seed.
It's a very, very good look because G2 don't have some scary scaling menace that they're waiting for in the mid to late game. They need to match the punches here. They pick the Elise, they have the Sylas as well. On Mad Lions' side, they have the double AD carries. They're going to scale fantastically. There isn't some late game hope here for G2. They need to start to stop the bleeding. The only thing that is hopeful is the fact that Aatrox is going to beat this champion that is called Neeko on side eventually, but I don't know if it's enough for them to kind of create pressure because if Mad Lions begin to pick up dragons, it's all about that soul, baby.
It is indeed, and the question I'm going to ask is, do you believe in Sylas? I haven't really been convinced by Sylas picks that I've seen in the last couple months. What's your take?
It's funny that we're referencing FPX all the time because that's where it's from, right? It's like Super Doinby with the Sylas. It's been working, it's been popping off. I think he saw the Neeko Pop Blossom, he just wanted that for himself because it's so easy for him to land it. But I'm also kind of skeptical. The Lucian last pick is kind of paying off right now. He got the dive on top, got the advantage. It's looking kind of good here for Humanoid.
I mean, he's almost got that Blade of the Rune King. The CS discrepancy has held true at 10 for the last few minutes. That's evened out as Wunder is plus 10 over Orome. And Aphelios and Thresh down in the bottom lane, they've maintained a very healthy CS advantage, pushing Mad Lions around. But look at this, they're going to sneak us Dragon. Taking advantage of the back timers, I don't think G2 will make it in time to challenge. And if Mykix, almost, I mean, it's very, very close, but Mad Lions taking advantage of a window of opportunity. First Dragon, 4 kills, 1,200 gold. And they are on the cusp of taking another strong early game the opposite of our expectations, showing development and growth, showing different flavor of composition, and showing that they can stand up to the defending champions and honestly give them a big fight. PerkZ is going to hijack the culling. It's a culling for culling, which is always funny to watch, and both PerkZ and Humanoids escape with their life. The Ignite and the Exhaust were used.
What does culling mean? Like, I don't know what the meaning of the word is.
To cull something is basically to kill a lot of things quickly. You can cull off those. It's normally quite a scary term. You can cull off like a bunch of insects or plants or things like that. So because there's so many shots, the idea being each shot will kill something. So there are many kills, therefore a culling. And body slam in the bottom lane. 2v2 play, and not able to pick up the kill. Caps. I was wondering if he was going to fire that Moonlight Vigil. He held on to it. And the True Shot Barrage almost takes Caps out. I think if that hadn't tagged Mickey, it may have had enough damage. Good fights in that 2v2.
My goodness, shaved off Caps' invisible mustache there. It just kind of went straight off. It was kind of close. You kind of question, if Carzzy maybe had a pickaxe instead of a tier, maybe he would have killed. Who knows? Oh.
Wow. Wunder once again getting hunted. The Pop Blossom catches him, and that's going to be enough. No, it missed! It missed! I really thought that was in range. The Tangle Bobs, they held him down, but the Pop Blossom just could not get there. Hexdeck Revolver is being set on by Orome, and now PerkZ has roamed up. Rift Herald is very, very low on HP, and now Kaiser starts to step forward, and try to challenge, but that will be going the way of Mad Lions. They get the first Drake. They're going to pick up the first Herald. Blade of the Ruin King is completed for Humanoid, plus 25 CS and a kill in that middle lane. Mad Lions have all the tools they need to accelerate even further ahead.
Very nice rotation there for Mad Lions, covering the Rift Herald play from G2, making sure that they are the ones securing it. Aphelios very behind on tempo. He's not going to be able to take many third platings because Mad Lions are now walking on mid, can put down the Herald, can rotate in the bottom side. They are in a very strong position.
Oh man, this is amazing stuff. The Rift Herald gets summoned. Plates, there go. About to get bopped on by Shelly. Mickey, Jankos, PerkZ doing what they can, but they cannot stop it. Jankos gets jumped on. The rappel goes up. He can make it to the chickens. Lantern is available, but it went the wrong way. Mickey and Jankos not 100% on the same page. Sniped by Carzzy. Carzzy is having a fantastic series so far. His Kalista in Game 1 was great. His Ezreal in Game 3 has started off fantastic. And Mad Lions are pulling further and further ahead.
Honestly, Carzzy making me regret my MVP choices, because I think, not MVP, but the top All-Star teams, because Carzzy is making a case for himself in this series. He's playing insanely well. The Kalista game was Smurf. The Ezreal game is also Smurf. The banana lands on Jankos in the end. The Lantern kind of coordination with the repel was kind of poor, but then we have the banana.
Oh!
Potassium. In the mouth.
Huge props to the Observer team. That was some slick replays. But I mean, when you eat your fruit and veg, you step up, you deliver, and that's what Carzzy's doing. It's the potions you put inside you that level you up, right? And Mad Lions are doing such... Yeah, that was so lame, I'm sorry. But it's really weird because I'm one of those guys that jumps on a bandwagon real quick, right, and gets real hyped. There's this voice in the back of my head, Yamato, that's like, what if they do it? What if Mad Lions keep playing this way? Like, it's becoming more and more believable that they could upset G2.
It's super believable. Honestly, we saw it in the first game. This game, G2, their composition isn't something that does incredibly well into mid to late game. G2 need to show us that cleverness that has kind of given them this reputation of, always putting that shock on you. But right now, Mad Lions are going blow for blow.
Yeah, they are. Stolen culling from that hijack will get some damage down to Humanoid, neither of whom are level 11. And now Orome, he's going hunting. So, looking for a target. Flash away from PerkZ. The Super Soaker doesn't slow anyone. Kaiser's looking for a target, and he will be able to pull back. Shadow's still got the kick, but he doesn't have a target to find. The Mad Lions are on the hunt. They are looking for targets to kill. And as it stands, 2,500 gold. Shadow still got the kick available. If he finds Caps, he will go down.
The key thing to pay attention to is the fact that Wunder does have TP advantage now. If they manage to outnumber somehow, that's a way for G2 to get back into this game. But looking at the lane pressure with the mid tower being gone now, the Thresh Lantern becomes a lot more meaningless. All of a sudden, that space that Aphelios wants to have in order to contest the mid prio doesn't exist. So all the pressure lies in Mad Lions' hands. They win the side lanes, they win the midway prio. G2 need to find a way to break that with this TP on Aatrox.
Wow, good luck with that. Humanoid takes another tower. Plus 40 CS. 101 on Lucian. His bot laner is 3-1 on the Ezreal. And Mad Lions at 15 minutes have got a Mountain Drake, have got an Infernal Drake, and the Cloud Rift has just spawned. So now they're going to start pushing all the way forward. I mean, what champion was Jankos playing again? Was it Evelyn? Because I haven't seen much of him, Yamato.
Honestly, it's very true. Very, very true. You know, he hasn't been given the greatest lanes to work with. Everyone on their side of the map kind of gets pushed in, and then when G2's bot lane also kind of die in the 2v2 scenario, it also becomes trickier. So I have to give some leeway to Jankos, but I'm with you. Elise needs to snowball.
Yeah, absolutely. Elise and Lucian going toe-to-toe in the river, once again being forced away. Every time Jankos tries to pick a fight, Mad Lions are there. It feels to me like they're reading Jankos like a book. I think that's the third or the fourth time that Jankos has made his way top. Either Wunder died before Jankos could get there, or Jankos just gets caught in the river and has to rappel to the blast cone.
It's a very smart play from Mad Lions because they know the thing we know. If they are playing into Wunder, he can't TP into the fight and create a man advantage. That's the key thing. They keep pressuring mid into Wunder's side. They keep even numbers. In even numbers, they are stronger. And that TP disadvantage just doesn't matter. Sylas is going to pick up some CS from bottom side, but that also just doesn't matter in the long run.
Oh, he rolled a natural 20 and Humanoid does not die in the side lane. He flashes forward looking for a kill, steps into the box. Unfortunately, failed. No, he failed the reflex save, okay? He rolled a natural 20 on the first, and then on the attack roll, missed it. True shot barrage goes right between Jankos and will not be able to find a target. But that was bold. I mean, Humanoid was feeling something and it didn't work out.
That was bold. That was a bold eagle. You're just spreading his wings right there. You can't get more bold than that. You're just flashing in when there's 3 members. You survived the gank. You should be happy. You should be celebrating. Natural 20, as you said. And then you just went for the gamble again. Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely the case. Now PerkZ in the top lane. He's managed to hijack the Dragon's Rage, but he just gets slam dunked back under the tower. Kaiser is on the board with his first kill of the game. Got himself that Giant's Belt to back up the Chain Vest. And honestly, again, it's Mad Lions that are making the plays, but you have to call out the fact that they're only 1,000 gold ahead now. It was a significantly higher percentage earlier in the game, 28.5k to 29.5k. But we're moving into this mid-game phase. You've already talked about the expectations on the side lanes. So what do you want to see G2 play and do? It looks like Caps is going to be able to flash away from the Pop Blossom, but he will get run down here from Carzzy. Carzzy decides not to chase further as Caps was able to escape thanks to the flash, the heal, and the flamethrower.
What does Cap say to the God of Death? Not today, because he should have died. He should have died there. My goodness, he got caught. Mad Lions just went for it. It's just such a usual characteristic with G2 is to have a point of pressure in the game, but this time around they don't, and that's when you begin to see this G2 that is kind of in disarray. They are so good at spreading pressure, but when they need to generate it out of nothing, that is a whole different question. You know, they aren't Houdini, they aren't David Blaine. I can't think of more magicians. They have more magicians, Trevor?
No, unfortunately not, but you got the good ones. Houdini and David Blaine are pretty epic, yeah.
They aren't those magicians. They can't.
I can't remember the guy's name who's in Magic for Humans. I can't remember his name though. But they can't make something out of nothing. So what do they do then? How do they create pressure? They're farming well. They're only 1,000 gold down. They do have tools, but they're just not finding windows. As I say that, Jankos obliterates Orome. Like, that is shocking.
That was a showcase, you know, you just put Elise on side, hide in bushes and try to snap before the Mad Lions rotation comes in, because this is the way to do it. We've been talking about Mad Lions and their isolated deaths. Orome and Humanoid, they are the kings of it.
Get Shocks into the cast because she just told me that David Copperfield, aka Jankos Elise, just made Orome disappear before our eyes, like magic. Thank you for that one, Shocks. Jankos has finally got that kill. I mean, earlier I made a little bit of a joke. I said, you know, is he playing Evelyn? Yamato, you very politely corrected why he was invisible. talking about the lanes, talking about, you know, the composition, the fact people were dying. But all 3 kills that G2 have picked up have been on Jankos. The team is even in gold at 20 minutes. And that faith and that confidence that I had a little earlier in Mad now starting to look a little more scary. How, Caps? How? Give that man gold frequent flyer status because he was airborne for the entire fight. The culling comes down onto Mickey and manages to flash over to the wall. But like, honestly, he got caught, he got a lantern, he got slam dunked. That kid flew for ages.
It's just, once again, those situations where you don't have that mid-tower. Mad Lions can just use those flanks to get onto the Aphelios. He's a champion that requires a lot of defensive options from his team. The lantern's just not enough to get away from all of these magical spells. We see it once again. Caps tries to walk up, but honestly he needs to be at his second turret because Shadow, he just snaps at you like a snapping turtle. Boom. And there we have the freaking flyer might being used.
Following the auto that finally took it down. Oh man, that was awesome. So that's going to be Caps' first death. The God of Death got him right now. Mad Lions are on sole point at, 25 minutes. The moment that spawns, G2 have to pick that fight. Because honestly, you do not want the Cloud Soul on a team with Lucian, Neeko, Lucian, Ezreal, Sett. Like, that's arguably the most impactful soul that Mad Lions could get with their composition that wants to be mobile and run around.
It's usually people hate the Cloud Drake, right? For good reasons. But when you have a champion like Neeko, as you mentioned, gets that move speed when she pops the Pop Blossom, is crazy good. Lisa with more kicks, Ezreal synergized with cooldown reduction so well. Many good synergies here with the Cloud Soul.
That just gives them more playmaking opportunity. I mean, this is such an exciting series to like psychoanalyze, because you always believe in G2, right? And they've got such a pedigree, but Mad Lions are just showing that they have to be respected. The Humanoid has to respect towers, bro. Yes, you got the 1-for-1. That was really good, but Humanoid does die in a side lane. Jankos and Yamato and VODS, they all sang it earlier today in the cold open. But that was probably the most stylish way to die in a side lane.
Look cool. They look cool, but I'm with you. The turret shots, he needs to calm down a little bit. He's building an advantage. He has the pressure. He needs to accept those small victories because that's enough to win playoffs matches, I feel. Ooh.
All right, engaged from behind. PerkZ manages to steal, or he had the Pop Blossom stolen. Won't be able to find a target. Very good death sentence from Mickey. Kaiser all of a sudden being burned down with a lot of autos from Aphelios. PerkZ looking for another. Jumps in, lands the chains, and that's the combination that G2 are trying to string together. The kill was secured by Caps. The third tower was secured by G2, while Mad Lions secure a trade of their own in the top lane. 5 kills to 8. 2.5 minutes until the Cloud Drake spawns, and Baron is already on the cards. Pop Blossom is available for Orome. He may need it. Super Soaker goes out. Hex flash over. Brings the lantern. Flay lands on Orome. Tried to predict the flash, but it didn't happen. Orome flashes after the Blossom. Carzzy now looking for some damage from the side. Firing out Mystic Shot after Mystic Shot. Orome gets the root down, and Shadow, he does not find the Sonic Wave. Now there is some support coming in from Kaiser. The kick was stolen from PerkZ to get rid of Shadow. Mad Lions are now on the back foot. Mad Lions are being pushed away. And again, the big objectives are going to be focal points in the coming minutes.
And the key thing is, Mad Lions, when something like that bottom 1-for-1 happens, they need to reconsolidate. They need to take a step back and understand that they don't have the same pressure that they always had before. G2, they find that window of opportunity, finds the dive into mid lane, transition that into a kill on Orome. G2 is the team that always punishes you if you make mistakes. Mad Lions need to keep taking it slow because they still have the pressure in the lanes. Aatrox might win against Neeko, but I don't think that's big enough for G2 to spread that pressure onto the map. Next Cloud Drake on the case in 1 minute. That's what I'm excited about, Trevor.
So how did G2 then find this pressure points? I know you mentioned that they punish mistakes from Mad, right? And you can see that in the plays. But it felt like Mad Lions were in control for 20 minutes of the game. And now G2 have just found avenues, back in, and they seem to be dictating the flow of play.
feel like if anything's going to happen, it's just Aatrox trying to find space through a flank. Sylas needs to also flank, but it's so difficult when he's losing side lane. I think it's all about Aatrox just pushing all the way into bottom, coming from behind with Elise, and then maybe killing like Elise or Lucian in a one-shot.
Well, definitely the case. Let's see what happens, whether or not they can. Shadow's looking for the kick, doesn't go the right way. Humanoid dashes over the wall, culling is available, and a lot of shots connecting onto Mickey before the death sentence ends it. Now Wunder and PerkZ coming in from the side. Pop Blossom has been hijacked, and G2 may want to drive that right into Mad Lion's back line. 20 seconds for Cloud Drake. Where should I keep my eyes at this fight, Yamato?
I think it's all about Aphelios positioning. If he can stay alive and DPS these targets down, then all will be good.
Oh, Kaiser gets caught up by the cocoon. He's been instantly blown up. Pop Blossom will buy some time, but look how much damage PerkZ has taken. True Shot Barrage is still available for Carzzy, and look at that. Orome's shadow is moving all the way forward. If they go into this dragon pit, True Shot Barrage should be able to do a lot of work. It's a 4v5. The spooky ghosts are flying and tagging their targets. True Shot Barrage go forward, not going to be enough to steal it. First dragon of the game for G2. That's a hop over the wall from Wunder, and Jankos is on another killing spree. 4 kills to his name. G2 get the dragon, get the kills, get the lead, and they get the hell out.
They get a couple of kills. I think the key thing for G2, if they want to begin to win fights further and further, they need to pump as much money into Aphelios as possible. He's going to be the big carry that will be the difference maker. Mad Lion still with that mid-turret advantage. I still feel like it doesn't change the pacing of the game here. They still are going to be the team that can walk up further on mid lane because of those glacial augment abilities from Orome. I think it's easy for them to gain that mid pressure. G2 need to still find a creative way to finding fights by contesting space and just hiding in fog of war, coming out of bushes with Aatrox, Elise and Sylas, using the Pop Blossom the same way we saw there. So they start the engage instead of the enemy team starting the engage onto Caps, because if Caps is alive, everything is good.
Yamato, this game is so tense, and I have seen moments, multiple moments this game where Caps should not have been alive. He escaped by the skin of his teeth several times, and now Shadow's going hunting. Where's the support? He's got Orome coming up from behind. Shadow's got the kick, has got the flash, is looking for PerkZ. Orome comes in, doesn't find the roots. PerkZ steals the Pop Blossom. That will buy some time. The Mad Lions will be happy with this. They get the teleport out of G2. We're 27 minutes into this game, and frankly, neither team is in control. We have had a pendulum swing back and forth with Mickey, you so fine. Play over the wall after Hex Splash into Death Sentence, but now all of a sudden Wunder's overcommitted. There was no more support. Mickey, you blew my mind because you baited Wunder into his death. They didn't know Mad Lions were there.
Yes, it looked so pretty. I was with you. I was like, ooh, spicy with the Hex Splash. But then it's just Aatrox went go, and it was not the time to go.
No, it really isn't. And I love what I think the analyst desk, I can't recall if it was Indiana or an Andy that was saying Mad Lions and G2, they make some bold calls, and those calls sometimes go awry. We've seen that this series already. Jankos chucks out the cocoon, finds one, and that's going to be an easy kill onto Orome. The team tried to recall, and he was the unlucky fish in a barrel that got shut down. 40-second death time is massive. But yeah, like some slightly bold, slightly crazy calls. And this game's slower paced than the two previous. But again, you don't really know who's going to come out on top, because it comes down to how these fights are playing out. And we just have to wait for the next big objective.
It's just both teams trying to squeeze as much as possible, taking that extra CS, maybe getting caught. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Everyone's being kind of greedy in their own way. It's crazy, the implications for this. All the other teams watching this and thinking G2 will just stomp it because that's what they are used to. But Mad Lions now 1-1, looking to take it to 2-1. That is just crazy to imagine in the first place. I bet all of the teams that are watching this are super scared.
Yes, I mean, people watching this at home might be fooled into thinking they're watching an episode of Penn and Teller's bullshit, because the episode header is Mad Lions takes down G2, and what's everyone's first response going to be, right? But I'm believing it. I'm seeing it. I'm not afraid of this G2 right now. They got a massive advantage in game 2 with an early game composition that they played exquisitely in the early game. But let's not kid ourselves. There was a little happy towards the later stages and a little bit interesting. Mad Lions, 30 minutes in, even on gold, soul point, 1 minute away from the next cloud. Taking a look down the items, stopwatch, as well as Spooky Ghost and Super Soaker for Orome. Blade of the Rune King, Essence Weaver, Phantom Dancer for Humanoid. He's going to get close to that Infinity Edge as well. And 3 items for Carzzy. I mean, that comp is online, and they've shown they can team fight and beat G2.
G2 have some good itemization considering they are buying a lot of armor. Orome being the sole magic damage dealer is not going to be that dangerous. I think this is a good time to fight. The only tricky part that Sylas doesn't have is Luden's Echo. Mad Lions have a better position coming into the Drake though, because now they're hovering into that bottom side. I think positioning is going to win everything out here.
Oh, really nicely done from Orome. He sneaks his way into the alcove, roots up Jankos. Now Carzzy's the one that's going to get exhausted down. PerkZ has hijacked that Pop Blossom. Jankos is running for his life. He's going to get taken out by the rookie. The man that's looking for Rookie of the Split. Voting is closed, so this game isn't going to count. But he's on a signature pick. His Elise, and it is showing up 2-0 and 4. Game 1, Shadows Gragas. Very, very impressive. I think he conceded 1 death. Soul will be picked up by Mad Lions. Baron is being, I don't even say threatened, but is being defended by G2. Mad Lions have arrested control of the game.
My goodness, this Cloud Drake and the Cloud Soul, you said it, Trevor, with these champions, it's giga dangerous. Baron's gonna be the key objective. Oh, okay, they're going. No,
yeah, I mean, let's be fair, right? Aphelios can melt Baron very, very quickly. There's no vision here. There's enough, survivability with those lanterns and the turret. I mean, are they gonna finish Yamato?
Honestly, it's looking quite close. Leeson is all the way into his base. I feel like Kaiser needs to jump in here and maybe delay some time. 6k, 5k, it's very, very far away, this Leeson. They're gonna take it.
They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. 3k, nobody's there. Mad Lions are late. No true shot barrage. No ability to steal. Soul is picked up by Mad. Baron is picked up by G2. Mr. Analyst Mebdi, which do you prefer?
Honestly, I feel like this Nash is not going to be big enough to kind of impact the game in any shape or form. G2 don't have the best siege composition. Mad Lions have that Soul Drake, which is going to impact the fights more. Sure, you get a little bit of stats with Baron, but Baron is all about that sieging power, and this is not a game about sieges. This is all about those fights.
It really, really is. And now let's see what Humanoid can do. He steps forward, instantly gets caught by that death sentence. Culling starts to channel down Capped, survives again by the skin of his teeth until Shadow steps in. Kill is secured though by Carzzy. That's PerkZ going golden thanks to the Hourglass and buying time. Pop Blossom is stolen the hijack, locks him down. PerkZ gets 1 back. The shield and the chains and the heals are doing work. Kaiser goes golden, and that supports Sett simply cannot stop G2. 2 members die on the side of G2, but 4 are quashed from Mad Lions.
Wow, this is what a crazy fight. It just started with the snap. They saw caps and they went all in, but I feel like they kind of overextended. Humanoid committed, Carzzy committed, they got flanked by the Aatrox. I love the ending there. Shadow 2 times in a row now, just stomping on the spider, showing, always the jungle ego having this effect in the game. I love the kick in the end to just finish it off. I'm hoping we have a replay of this fight, because honestly there was a lot to break down.
Yeah, sending signals on Shadow's side, but again, Cap survives for so long. Like, if he died a few seconds earlier, maybe that fight can change a little. You've got to spend a little extra time focusing him. Just as I buy into the mad hype train, just as I think they're going to take the lead, G2 come right back into it.
So the key thing is, Mad Lions, they are committing with Humanoid first. Face first, Carzzy is also in a position where it's difficult to commit. Very nice flash from Caps is buying time. But pay attention here to Elise's position and also Aatrox's position. Carzzy is cut off, Humanoid is fighting against PerkZ, and PerkZ showing everyone why everybody kind of hates playing against Sylas. He survived for so long. W after W. He is to 600. It's absolutely crazy. On the top side, we see Carzzy fighting against Aatrox because he was in that horrible position. Mad Lions overstep. They commit to a fight with their faces first on Humanoid and Ezreal. This was a bit too much.
Yeah, just a little too far. And the thing that I can't get out of my head right now is that you can never disregard G2, right? This game's even. I don't think either team has truly been in control. There have been advantages swinging back and forth, and while G2 now have a 3k gold lead, don't forget that Mad still have the soul, and Baron's going to be 3 minutes away. Elder is 2.5 minutes, so that will be another siege point. If Mad get a fight on their terms, they can still win their engagements.
It's so tricky because the gold is kind of deceptive. I feel like when you have a composition with the Aatrox and the Elise, these are champions that are going to fall off. Sylas as well, his itemization is not going for those heavy death cap AP numbers. He has to buy these utility items that are eventually going to be outscaled by the Infinity Edges and the items on Ezreal. The key thing is Mad Lions have a lot of utility on their side, a lot of CC, and also decent scaling on Lucian and Ezreal.
Wow, great death sentence onto Shadow, forces him to break the stopwatch, but here comes the engage, the slam dunk from Kaiser. Where's the support man? The rest of the team's late to the party. Finally, Orome rocks up, but he may not be in time. The Pop Blossom, not going to get used. I really wanted Orome to go in. He held on to it, did not go for the juicy target that I wanted, and that means that Mad Lions lose Kaiser, lose control of the Northern Quadrant, and G2 are now pushing into Mad Lions territory.
It's very important that Shadow begins to look for some flanks, because that Lantern is doing way too much work for Caps. They're trying to go head first into space where they don't have vision, but they need to play on the space where they actually do have vision. Vision decides these fights.
There's the vision right now. Huge advantage the northern side. But if you look at the minimap though, Mad Lions do have superior control around Dragon. With Elder up in a minute, everybody going to be alive and shopping. You have to think that's going to be the priority. So what do G2 have to do to break into this vision line and prevent Elder being picked up by Mad?
I think we're reaching that point in time where minion priority doesn't matter, it's just body priority. You just have to rush to that Drake space and control it, because any side that needs to face check at this point in time is just going to die. So it's important to just be there first, stick to it, ignore the fact that you're going to lose a couple of minions, because minions aren't the kind of decision makers in this game. It's all about that Elder Dragon, that space. If you can make the enemy face check you, you're going to win those fights.
And then 40 seconds to Baron as well, so depending how long this engage takes or takes to start, we could end up having another split where you're forced to pick one or the other. Again, thank you to the observers, they highlighted that line of vision that is starting to time out. Humanoid dashes forward. How on earth did he escape? It's not done yet. Humanoid starts to channel the culling. Kaiser continues to chase. Arcane shift forward. Shadow's not done. Sonic wave interrupted by the flay. The box goes down. The cocoon slows him down. Jankos and Mickey run away from the entire Mad Lions squad, but it now puts them inside the pit. PerkZ, he's pushing the top lane. G2 are going to concede it. I think they've given it up. Carzzy hops over the wall. He's looking for Mickey. Sidesteps the cocoon of the death sentence. Manages to get the arcane shift onto the targets and takes out two. Elder Dragons picked up, but at what cost? The inhibitor turret will go down. I'm sure we're going to flick over to PerkZ in just a moment. The turret falls, and Orome has his ultimate hijacked. I don't know, man. All of a sudden, Mad Lions with Soul and Elder? That is terrifying.
What on earth was G2 thinking? They sent PerkZ into topside with no TP, and at the same time, Caps is contesting mid lane as if the story of the game hasn't taught him anything. He couldn't walk up in this moment. Ezreal dashed in. They got the kill really fast. The damage numbers on both sides now are crazy high. If you get touched once, if you're playing Aphelios, you just kind of die. You need to be in that safe position. And Mad Lions are looking to just win this game with these big buffs from the Elder Dragon and also now the Nasher.
I can't sit still. I can't quite believe what I am seeing. Lapses in judgment, poor calls, poor play, whatever you want to call it. Now Mad Lions punished G2's mistake. Jankos and Mickey ran for their lives for so long, eventually got taken out, and it gave Mad control of the Elder Drake, control of Baron. Elder, 4 dragons, Baron. Gold doesn't matter right now, but they've got all the tools they need to push back. But now they cannot make a mistake. If they are caught out of position, they will still go down very quickly. So let's look at the quality of execution. And Yamato, talk me through the steps that you see Mad Lions perform.
Honestly, right now, Mad Lions are so strong that they can just kind of run it down. They can just walk forward. They are so strong with the Elder and the Nash. They can just look to siege. G2 need to be the ones that are forcing, but it's so difficult with their composition. They don't have that much engage.
PerkZ seems to be playing the side lane game. Reminds me a little bit of Jizuke, my man. Playing on the side lanes while the game is happening elsewhere. Jizuke playing exceptionally well over in the LCS playoffs. Do you think PerkZ doing his Jizuke impression will be enough to win this?
Honestly, this is kind of the best thing you can do, but because fighting is kind of a dead dream. Running into that Elder Dragon, it is something that you don't want to do. I like this movement from PerkZ, the Jizuke special as you call it. Of course I like it.
Yeah, very nice. I was going to think it was a trade. PerkZ may be able to escape with his life here. Kaiser's hunting. He will not be able to catch. He wasted the flash there, but that was a like 5-head play if ever I've seen one. No tower down on the inhibitor line, but G2 secure the inhibitor in bot lane, so that's already going to start setting something forward. Humanoid's already there to catch, but with Baron, with Elder, they should be able to handle that wave of super minions.
Trevor, G2 is so greedy. They were pushing top. They're basing so late. Mad Lions can threaten so much here, man.
I actually missed. I was looking at the minimap of Humanoid and I didn't even see them go away. They're going for the fight. Moonlight Vigil misses. It might be time to go to bed, gents, because Mad Lions, they're turning it around. Shadow is down though. GA has been popped. Carzzy is coming in for the fight, looking at Mickey. Look at the culling from Humanoid. He's got one. He's got two. G2 are losing. G2 are losing. Where were you when the opponent that G2 chose, they looked down the barrel and said, Mad Lions, we choose you? With that in mind, they are now losing. They are one game away from being pushed to the losers bracket. Mad Lions 2-1 up over G2.
Oh my god. The way they did it too. G2 got caught in the mid lane. Caps got caught in the mid lane. This is the mistake that you expect from a Mad Lions. They are the ones that are the rookies. They are supposed to be the ones pressured at 30 minutes into the game. That's
unbelievable.
When G2's experience is supposed to show up. Instead, Sylas was in top side.
Look,
Caps got caught in mid lane. My goodness, what is going on, Trevor?
I know, and it's one of these things that's so... It's so strange to think that this is the reality, because I didn't hear a single person even mention, like, what if, right? Because the expectation of BO5 G2 is to ramp up, and I still expect, and I still wouldn't be surprised to see G2 win the next two. It's happened. They've got resilience, but Mad Lions, the quality of their play, their decision making, the draft that they're putting together, I am just impressed on every single front, and they are on match point against the defending champions.
It is just nuts. I can't believe we're here. And the fashion that Mad Lions is playing with, they're continuing with that energy they had when they played against Origin. It's no longer the comeback kids. It is from minute one, action, action, action. They hold on to it and they snowball the game.